More innovation in robotic vacuums. Welcome back to Techstination. Joining us from Roborock is Public Relations Manager Dan Cham. Good to see you, Dan.
Good to see you.
You have a brand new machine just coming out soon, but first give us a little background before we get into it about Roborock.
Okay, we have been in the industry for a couple of years now. We started off in 2016 with our first roll vacuum, and since then we have rolled out a couple more models. One that came with an obstacle recognition system back in 2020, and in last CES we introduced a robot vacuum that could sonic scrub your floors, which is the S7. So this CES. We wanted to introduce something which takes this whole thing a level above. So we are introducing our newest flagship, the Roborock S7 Max Ultra, and this is a model that basically self-empties, self-washes, and self-refills. So there's a lot of convenience here. And we are very excited to tell you about it, Fred.
Well, give us the overview. Again, it's called the Roborock S7 Max. Is it MaxV or Max 5?
That's right. So Roborock S7 Max V Ultra. I know it's a lot, but it also does a lot.
Okay, so let's get into it and how it's different. Describe for us what it can do.
Okay, so the idea behind the S7 Max V Ultra is this. So with robo vacuums, you want it to be very automatic, right? It's supposed to be autonomous vacuums. And for that reason, we really looked into what are the inputs currently still needed by customers when they're operating a raw vacuum. So last year we saw, the past 1-2 years, we have seen the trend of self-emptying, which is basically you don't have to empty the dustbin so often, right? So we had that on the S7 Plus, that was last year. But another one that a lot of customers need to do is to wash the mop. And this is if you have a robot vacuum that mops. And with Roborock's models, they normally come, with a mop, so robot vacuum and mop. So we are thinking, how can we make it even more automatic? And what we did was to come up with a dock that not only self-empties, but also self-washes and self-refills. So essentially, what you need to do on a day-to-day basis is to ensure that the clean water tank is filled with clean water, and then occasionally, when needed, the dirty water tank needs to be emptied. What you need to do is to tap on the app, get a robot vacuum to start cleaning. It goes off, and every 20 minutes this is on the default setting. Every 20 minutes, it comes back to the dock, it returns to the dock, it gives itself a nice little scrub against, the dock washes the mop. So, when it goes back on the 21st minute, to continue its run, it goes out with a clean mop. And there you go. You don't want your roll vacuum to be first cleaning your kitchens and then making its way over to your bedroom with the same mop cloth, which is wet and a little bit dirty. So that is the idea.
Very interesting. So how often you would check this every day or two to make sure that you empty the dirty water and put clean water in?
Right. So the clean water tank, it holds up to 3 liters of water, right? So that amount is used for washing the mop as well as automatically refilling the onboard water tank on the S7 Max V, so on the roll vacuum. So with 3 liters of water, it basically supports up to a cleaning space of more or less 3,000 square feet. So it really depends on how large your house is. But if in every run, in every cleaning run, you clean up to 1,500 square feet. You basically have 2 clean runs. So that's about 2. If you do it daily, that's 2 days. So every 2 days you go in there, you empty the dirty water tank, you put in the clean water into the clean tank. So that's a rough idea of what you need to do with the water tanks. But on the dustbin, right? Because it also empties, that one supports up to on average about 7 weeks of hands-free cleaning. So on that end, it's a bit more, it's a bit more less often. But with the water tank, every 3,000 square feet, more or less.
Sounds terrific. Now, how does it know which to do, whether to mop or vacuum?
Oh, it does
Does
both
it
at the same.
it decides on its own?
Yeah, it does both at the same time. So the beautiful thing about our robot vacuum is that it is actually able to vacuum and mop at the same time. And you might be wondering, like, what about carpets, right? If you're going out there and vacuuming your floors and mopping your floors at the same time, what if it gets on carpets? And this is the beautiful thing with the S7 Max Ultra, it is also able to detect carpets, right? So it understands when it gets on carpets, and then it automatically lifts its mop pad, the wet part, right? It lifts it up. And so when you're on carpets, you're only vacuuming. And then when the raw vacuum gets down, and goes on the floor, it knows that it is safe now to put that wet module down and continue mopping. So when on carpet, you actually stop scrubbing, you actually stop water flow. Basically, mopping stops. There's only vacuuming. So it's very automatic. It's worry free. You don't really have to take care of it. Just let it do its thing.
Tell me about some of the technology that's on board here that allows it to do those things.
Right. So the feature that I just told you about, it's what we call the intelligent mop lift. Right. This works hand in hand with our newest mopping system, which is basically sonic mopping. So sonic mopping basically vibrates, lets the mop pad vibrates and up to a very, very high frequency, about 3,000 times per minute. And this is the idea behind this, is to really scrub against the dry on stains and difficult stains on the floor. Right? This takes care of, it's like an active mopping. This goes in hand with the lift. So the lift, it's basically the Roborock basically senses that it is on carpets using an array of sensors, right? It detects that it's on carpets, and then the algorithm goes and say, hey, okay, I'm going to lift this up by 5 millimeters. So that is the technology behind it. But also, as it goes around, right, this is a laser-based robot vacuum, so laser navigated. So it understands its surroundings, right? It maps a nice, efficient path for it to clean from. And at the same time, it sees, okay, there is a shoe out there. There is a sock out there, and there probably, let's say, if you have pets and if it has an accident, it sees that, hey, that is a pet poo. So you want to clean around it. So it's very careful. It's very automatic in that sense. It takes care of its surroundings for you. It understands the surfaces it's on. It lifts them up when it's needed. It's that is the idea behind what we are going for, like full automation.
And you're just using water for the mopping, right? Or do you put in some kind of cleaner?
That's a very good question. So in the past, we have only recommended water, clear water. But with the S7 Max Ultra, we have now a special solution, a special cleaning solution, which we have worked with Unilever, right, with their cleaning brand Omo, to come up with something that just nice for Roborock. In the past, we had a trouble, right, recommending cleaning solutions because they would probably leave behind some fine particles which across time, over time, it builds up and probably will clog that very fine filters that water goes through onto the mop pad. So that was a common problem that a lot of manufacturers face. And right now we have worked together with Unilever to come up with a customized cleaning solution that just works for this purpose. And so, yes, the good news is we can now use cleaning solution to go along with water in your mopping runs.
And that's the customer decides whether they want to do that or not?
Exactly. We leave the choice to the customer. So it's like an accessory that you can choose to buy, and you can do it through our website, us.roborock.com, or you can go on Amazon and search. Obviously, this will come together with when the S7 Max Ultra is launched.
Well, tell us about that. When can people buy it, and what will the pricing be?
Okay, so this is gonna be available early Q2. So it's about April, May, depending on how quickly things go. But yeah, do expect it on Amazon or on our website, us.roborock.com, at an MSRP of $1,400. So 1400. That is the whole thing with the dock.
So it's a premium price, but what you're saying is there's a lot of technology in here, and it can do an awful lot.
Exactly. So this is definitely a premium robot vacuum system. It costs a lot. Its name is quite a lot, but it also does a lot, right? So you really just all you need to do is to empty the dirty water tank, put in clean water, let it go, up to a few weeks before you actually have to manually do more.
Terrific. For more information, where do we go?
us.roborock.com. That's the place to go.
roborock.com. Dan, Cham, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you very much, Fred.